limp right now, so I'm having to do that every single day for the rest of my life. Although this may be it, according to them.
Yeah, this is it. This is it for you.
They were like, I was like, what's the alternative if no surgery? Nothing.
Nothing. You will be limping your whole life. It'll be super cool. They'll be like, oh, is that like a new thing you're trying out? You'll be like, yep, yep, for the rest of my life, I'm trying it.
Well, Damien was here. You were here when he was here, and he was like, oh, wait, I never noticed Catherine's cute little walk. And then I was like, oh, she's injured.
She's injured.
Limping.
Her knee's not working. Guys, welcome to another episode of Horror at the Store. I'm your host, Katie Hettenbach. Don't stutter on that, but stutter on everything else. That's fine. That's how the day's going. But it's going great. You want to know why? Because we got the lovely, the amazing Catherine Corcoran from Terrifier.
You did it. You didn't stutter on that one either.
I'm so proud of myself.
I was like 2 for 2. I like it.
Faking it. That's what I do. I love faking my speech impediment. It's my passion.
It's fabulous. I like it.
Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I was saying on the way in, I was listening to some heavy content, so I'm excited to be back at the comedy with you guys. And for what? Singles Awareness Day?
Singles Awareness Day. We're celebrating singles for the week, the month, the year, maybe.
However long you've been single and remain so, or not. Up to you.
How was your Valentine's Day or Single Awareness Day?
It was,
whatever you celebrate.
Honestly, a slight improvement than the past. Typically, I like to date men who, and this is accurate and also true, accurate, the same thing, who are like homeless or incredibly narcissistic or just terrible people. So typically I don't get to celebrate Valentine's Day, not because I'm single, but because I just have the world's worst taste in human beings ever. However, this year I did get a card, so that was nice. You know, we're getting there.
You sent yourself a card?
Yes, I did. I sent it to myself. I wrote it and sent it to myself. So this way, I didn't have to feel so bad.
You're like self-love.
Yes.
Bring it in.
That's what we did. What about yours? How was your
it was good. Kind of was going for the kindergarten school teacher look. So I had my hair in buns, I had pink pants on, little heart earrings.
Was it like an erotic thing or
no? It's just a fun everyday thing.
Personal enjoyment.
I was like, why not an erotic thing? Yes. And then was gonna do some stuff with friends, but needed to rewatch all of the Terrifier movies in honor of today.
Well, luckily there's only 2, although one is very, very long. I apologize.
I also had to eat before I watched them because last time I tried watching, I forget, not even one of the Terrifier movies, just like a bloody torture porn-esque movie. I think it might have been one of the Saw movies.
Did you feel like you felt nauseous?
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen. I was like, okay, maybe I should eat before this and just in case.
I always thought that was like a rumor that like people actually got sick during them. And I think it's because now that I've worked in so many of them, I get to a point where like I when the very like brutal violence is occurring, and if you don't like know anything about me, I just sound like a psychopath. Like I'm in the theater.
I mean,
like,
you are, yeah. I do that too.
But I think it's because it's just because I'm like trying to figure out what they're doing. I'm like, oh, they had fun with that. Like I can like, I guess that's part of it. So it doesn't usually make me feel any sort of, unless I know something like particular, like. We were talking, I just did Danielle Harris and Scout to their Competence podcast, and we were talking about people using raw meat on set. Mm-hmm. And Gross. You're actually not supposed to do that. It's like very much against health code, but
I mean, it should. I mean, it's like
I probably shouldn't just be handling raw meat.
Yeah, it doesn't even matter if you like know about film code or anything. It's like if you raw meats in the situation, probably a no-go.
Yeah, probably no-go. But so like that, if I knew that going in and watch it, I would probably like feel some sort of way, but typically no, it doesn't happen for me.
Okay. So this week we watched My Bloody Valentine.
Yeah.
But of course the remake, because Why would we do the original?
Why would we watch the source material?
No, why wouldn't we just skip it and go right to the remake?
Well, it's funny because I'd never seen the remake, although my buddy like swears that it's like one of his favorite horror movies of all time. So like I was curious about it, but I was saying after watching it, I was like, now I want to watch the first.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, is it the same? Is it different? Is it...
I mean, honestly, I was laughing again, like, and I don't know if it's just because I'm a really fucked up human being, but can I swear on this podcast?
Oh, hell yeah, you
I just want to make sure.
You can say whatever you want.
I never know.
Keep it PG.
I know. After seeing the stand-up at the Comedy Store last week, I should.
Yeah, you can basically say anything.
Great.
Yeah.
No, so I thought I was laughing within the first opening sequence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think, what does the one character say? She goes to take a picture, and like you just wonder like who the writers are. Where like she goes to take a picture, and she goes, like, smile over the pants hand job, and you're like,
oh,
what now?
You can see them writing it, being like, guys, this is gonna be so good. You don't even understand. This is so good. It's definitely written by a white male.
But like over the pants hand job is such a specific, like it is such a like specific thing to be like making a sex joke about.
Yeah.
And then my favorite part about that character is when they go like 10 years later to her, and she's just like, so not only is like she leads with over the clothed hand job, then there's like all holds bars for like a solid 20 minutes of the movie. She's naked, full frontal, completely naked, doing all sorts of activities, like not just having sex. She comes out with like the gun,
and I'm like, why isn't she wearing a shirt? Why wouldn't she put it back
or
on?
pants? She's not wearing anything.
Why?
Honestly, that was my favorite part. I think was like she comes out and she's like full gun. I was like, oh my god, she's gonna blow his head off. Like I really wanted her to actually. I was mad that they didn't do that. I was like, if you just kept going for it, I would have liked this so much more. I would have been on board if you were like fully nude, full frontal, bam. I would have been like, this is the best movie I've ever seen.
This is the kind of porn we want.
I don't even.
There's no sex. It's just naked people with guns. It's just a horror movie, but everybody's naked.
I mean, but that's like part of the formula, right? It's like, and you knew like they were hitting all the check marks. They're like, all right, we've got the blonde dumb girl. I know that girl well. I often get put in that. You know, like we've got the blonde like ditzy girl, and you know what? We're also gonna make her kind of slutty because like how
you have to. She's blonde.
Nobody's intelligent could possibly have a sex life. It's like that. We're not going to do that.
Nope.
But then like when they have her like come out full frontal ready to shoot the guy, I was like, all right, here we go. But then it wasn't loaded. And I was like,
of course she couldn't even see if it's a classic woman thing. They just don't double check, triple check, you know. Our brains are just not wired that way to like the man. That's why she needed a man to load it for her.
I just honestly, well, like obviously she dies. I don't know.
No, go ahead. Full
she dies
spoilers.
Pretty early on, if you didn't anticipate that from the formula.
Yeah.
But like, I now want to meet this actress, and I want to talk to her about what that was.
Yeah.
And I want, if they do a My Bloody Valentine 2. I want to see. I want like the zombie corpse of her nude to come back.
Ooh,
like
that'd
ready
be good.
to. That's like the vindictive thing that I don't know. I just loved. That was my favorite part. I was ready. I was so ready to love this movie because of that moment alone.
It honestly, this entire movie was giving a Disney Channel original movie vibe. Just the way it was shot, and just the overall quality of like I was like, oh, these are like big, you know, like you got the guy from Supernatural, and I was like, oh, that's cool, and then everyone else, you know, kind of was like, I recognize them from stuff, but it like the shooting of it, I was like, this looks like a student film, and I'm in.
Honestly, it definitely looks higher quality. I've seen some and it probably.
But also, it's supposed to be seen in 3D, and I love watching non-3D movies.
That.
Oh, you didn't see when the eyeball came out or the pickaxe?
I did, but I didn't realize you were. That makes so much more sense because in the opening, when they're like, "Oh my god, oh, it's all coming together now." Like I was in the opening when the head was floating on the shovel. I was like, why does that look so cheesy? I was like laughing. I was like, oh, Chris, like, and I do wonder, and I think most filmmakers don't, which is kind of sad for me. But like, I do wonder, like, if they are laughing when they're making this. Like, I think like the horror movies that are the funniest, they are not written to be funny.
Oh yeah.
And that's so sad to me because it's like you have something here. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's really heartbreaking for them. Like they're in the theater and they're ready for people to like scream and vomit and I'm hysterically laughing.
Oh, I love those. Those are the best. It's also like you have to decide as a director and as a filmmaker, are you going to run with people laughing or are you going to be angry? And you have to kind of decide. Hopefully you give in or like, you know what, sure, let's lean into the goofiness of it. But some people are like, I'm going to defend this and be like, it's the scariest horror film. I'm thinking of Troll 2 specifically.
Oh yeah,
because that one. Have you seen Troll 2?
Yes.
Oh my
but
god,
I've never
thank
seen
God.
Troll 1. Another one where like I didn't see the source material.
I didn't
but
either.
like
I don't think you need to. I don't
feel
think
like
they're
Troll
related.
2 is such a like. I've only ever seen it in the context of like drinking games and being really stoned to like watch this movie.
I think that's the only way to watch that
and
movie.
I do wonder now being part of a franchise that has a theatrical for the second film, if like that's what will happen like 10, 20 years from now, just a bunch of kids in their dorm rooms like stoned be like, you have to watch this movie, but what about the first one? Who cares? Let's
just watch it.
The stoned
You gotta watch them rip her face off. It's really good.
You know what I mean? Like I just wonder what comes next in the linear trajectory of like of sequels that are just like ridiculous.
Yeah, I feel like you could be in My Bloody Valentine 2. Would you want it in 3D as well?
Yeah, but like, I like my Bloody Valentine 2 crossed off 3D or just skip the 2 and it's My Bloody Valentine 3D. And then they're like, what happened to the second? Doesn't really matter.
It doesn't. You don't need to like look at it.
Yeah,
it's
that's
there.
what I think I would like.
Yeah.
I for sure. And then I want vengeance for the naked shotgun scene.
She deserves it.
I want vengeance. I that poor. I didn't even know her name. I should have looked.
You
for that
should call her the
actress's
whore.
name. No, that actress. I should not call her that. I would never do that.
I'm like, oh, it's their name. I'm like, but what's that? She was the whore. What's her name? And I'm like, oh, I can't say that.
No, I would never.
But
I would never say that as a woman who works in horror. I would never say that is something that I actually don't like about horror in general. Is that trope. I really like, so I get excited when people are going to break it. So that's why I was like, oh, damn, they're going to go for it. Like, she's just going to be the one.
Nope, it's 2009.
And then they're like, we're not there.
Embracing the stereotypes.
2009, pre-Me Too. We're just like going to show her as naked as possible for as long as possible.
You gotta. And the main girl and the main guy with Tom, like in the beginning, you're like, oh, they're a cute couple.
Over the hand job.
And then, Tom gets like hit by the miner or whatever. They start getting in the car to leave and they just leave him.
I know. That was the fucked up thing. But then, so they leave him, but like also she's like, I can't. Then they like throw her in and they do. Oh my God. Now it makes so much more sense now that I know it's in 3D. The axe. I was like, why does this look so bad? I couldn't figure it out. I was watching it on the fact that I couldn't get it when I was watching it. I couldn't get my TV to like stream to my Chromecast. So I'm watching it on my iPad. I was like, why does it look so bad? It looks like one of those like graphic, you know, have you ever seen on like the back of cars, the baseballs, like the shotgun stickers? That's what it looked like when they throw it.
You're like, why does it look like, you're like, oh, it's 3D. Got it.
And now, oh my God, it's all coming together.
Yeah, it makes a lot more sense.
I never thought possible. I feel
like it just blew your brain a little bit.
It did. I was like, this is just really, I was like, 2009, was our CGI really that bad? No, there was the Lord of the Rings. Damn it. Like,
I mean, you know, you could tell that they didn't have, you know, they had, the first movie I think had a little bit more money. This one, I don't think had as much. They had enough for Supernatural guy, but.
Yeah, well, so wait, did the first film had a bigger budget than the second film?
I think so.
In the 80s?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
Or they had the same. And
I would think, honestly, this one probably had the bigger budget because.
Doesn't look like it.
Just like looking.
I say
at
that with love.
But what studio is it? Lionsgate that did it?
I think so. Is it?
Do a Google. I think maybe or like it depends on. There was like a period of time where remakes of films, and they still do, like, we're getting huge budgets. So, like, if you look at the budget on, like, the original, my nerd is showing, but if you look at, like, the budget on the original Halloween, and then you look at, like, Halloween Kills, Halloween Ends, like, it gets progressively bigger because they know they can make more money on it. The studios that come on.
So I could tell you the original had a $2.3 million budget.
Yeah, they had a lot more on this one.
This new one had a $14 million budget.
Yeah.
But still,
But
I feel like it's crazy what people can do with like 2.3 versus.
So 2009 is when films started doing the post-production 3D. So it wasn't even when they would shoot in 3D for the intention of a 3D release. It was when they tried to make extra money by shooting in 2D and then trying to make it 3D.
And then you get the glasses in the theaters. Yeah. I remember that.
Because Transformers was the first one that was shot and meant for 3D, and this was actually shot and meant for 3D, which is why those shots are so bad.
Why? I wonder what happened that we stopped doing that. The, like, 3D IMAX experience. Like, that was like a thing.
We have 4D now.
Wait.
You haven't heard of 4D?
Wait a minute.
If your mind was blown by 3D, let me bring you into the 2023.
For someone who works in this business, I really should understand this better. Wait a minute. You're telling me that you go into a theater and you put on glasses still to see movies?
Yes.
Do you put on glasses still?
Yeah.
Okay, you put on glasses.
The 4D, you put on glasses, but also you feel things.
Have you ever done?
Okay, that I do know about. Okay,
Yeah,
I didn't know it was
done-
called this. I was like, wait a minute.
If you've ever done the like Shrek ride at Universal, or
yeah,
it's like
the
that.
Shrek ride
The
where he
Shrek ride
sneezes on
yes,
you.
but now you can go see Scream 6,
that's, like,
and you'll feel the stabs.
And you'll
So
feel
it's
them
different.
You
So-
can feel the stabs going into your body.
So if Terrifier 3's it's not 3D, I don't want it. You know what I'm saying?
4D is what you want.
Oh,
And again,
4D, yes,
I
but also
I think the marketing
4D.
move on that is just skip
And then
the number
just
3 and
rip
it's
it.
just Terrifier 4D.
And then just
like,
yeah,
hey, that's the
and then they like
Absolutely.
actually,
What's
and then
the
they,
third?
and
Who
then
who cares?
And then they actually come in and they like you feel like your skin's being ripped off, and they're like, "Whoa, this is so good!"
And then you walk out, and little do you know, you've actually been burned alive, and your skin has been burned off. It's like a really immersive experience.
it's just a quirky little thing that they do.
Well, you know what was really funny? I was just at I went to see this film Skinamarink, which
Yes.
is like very like I don't know, polarizing film in terms of how people feel about it in theaters. And everyone was telling me, like, it's an art film, but there's this like really big jump scare. So I'm like waiting for it, and it never comes. And then at the end of the screening, I look over my shoulder, and there's this couple that I know that I like desperately try to avoid, and I jumped. And I was like, oh my God, what an immersive experience this was. Like, wow, the theater really going all out to make sure
You're
that
like, there
there it is. There's the jump
Yes.
scare.
So there wasn't actually a jump scare.
Wait. We can't just skate over that.
I know.
There's a couple that you're actively avoiding.
Not actively avoiding, but like, you know how you have those people that you like don't want to run into?
And then you just happen to see
I
them
knew
like
them
behind
not
you.
I knew them from when I lived in New York, and we're just not friends anymore. Like, and it was nothing weird happened. They're just like they're just not very nice people, and I don't like running into them. It makes me uncomfortable because I feel like I have to be nice, and I like don't know what to say. It's like, oh, we should hang out, but like I actually never want to see you.
Yeah.
You know, and so like. I think I had heard that they moved out here, but I like didn't, I didn't think about it. Because again, like LA is pretty big.
But it's also really small.
Yeah. And so, and it was like a premiere. So
Yeah.
like I guess people who have like similar interests, and like I was like, oh, no jump scare. And then I turned around like, holy shit, there it is.
Well,
wow. So I'm like, honestly, kudos to Shudder and IFC for investing that budget to make it such an immersive experience for me. 5 stars, 5D experience.
5D. Love it. Well, we actually have a surprise for you. Though that couple is actually here right now.
Wow.
They just walk in. We have another jump scare.
Another jump scare.
It is called Horror at the Store.
That's the scare, and the rest of the podcast is just me trying to have a conversation with them.
Yes, with them in the room.
That's the
and
horror. You have to sit through me painfully trying to figure out what to talk about.
That's the best part. That's the best part.
I mean, yeah, I guess it is so funny. Like I'm actively avoiding a couple. I'm actively avoiding most social interactions. You're lucky you got me here today.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I'm thinking. You know what? I'm honored to have you here. It's wild. It's pretty great. But also that couple could also be the bringing it back to My Bloody Valentine, Tom and the sheriff, because the sheriff swooped in and got his girl.
I know, and you know, I mean, I'm not swooping in and taking anyone. I don't want any part of that relationship.
Yeah.
But I actually hated that character too, and I don't know if how much I'm supposed to hate him. But like, talk about definitely written by white men. He's like,
you said Tom or the sheriff?
The sheriff.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, so first of all, takes other girl. Okay, small town, maybe not a lot of options. I can like to make the joke about being inbred, which I actually did find kind of funny. You know, like let's just I'm rolling with it. Everybody dates each other in this town. You've established that. You know, even maybe family members. However,
hopefully not, but you know, if you're into it.
Yeah. However, he's having an affair with his wife's like employee, and then gets pissed when over the pants hand job guy comes back.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, this is my wife. And I think when he's like yelling at him, he's like, my wife that I'm married to, have children with, have sex with. He has to put that in there. And like, it's just like, bro, shut up. You have like a girl, and I think she's supposed to be like young. You've got like this like 18-year-old girl pregnant.
Yeah, and she's giving you chocolates. So
Why
like, what else do you want?
Why are you pissed? Like, leave it alone. Like, I like go have an open marriage. I think it's the better for everyone involved here.
Hey, don't just break up with your wife and just be single. Then just, go and then just be sexually free.
I just was like, why? He doesn't have a right to be mad, bro. Sit down. Like, I was so ready for him to die.
Yeah. I also, the twist at the end with it being the main guy, Tom.
Yeah.
Being like, oh, he's just like, he's been in a mental institution for 10 years.
And escaped.
And now he's gone crazy. And he thinks he's seeing the minor, but he's actually the minor. Yeah. I was like, oh.
I knew it was him, like, from the time he came in, but then I was confused because he's, like, in the cage and whatever. Yeah. I'm like, oh, maybe not. And I mean, I was on board. I kind of, because, like, where has he been? Yeah. You know? But, like, still. And also, the minor doesn't look like him. Yeah. It's clearly the man from Stranger Things. What's his name?
Hopper.
It's clearly Hopper from Stranger Things. So why are we? I don't it was confusing. Yeah. I wasn't on board. But I'm curious as to like if the first film explores like psychosis and that's why.
Yeah.
And if it also the first film takes place in a mining town.
I feel like they both kind of do. But also, how did the minor find the or no, I guess because it was Tom. But initially, because I was like, okay, I'm just going to suspend disbelief. And this minor is real. And it's just some random person. We don't know who it is. Because I'm thinking it's some being. Because I haven't seen these movies in a really long time. I was like, how the fuck did this minor find these girls at just a random grocery store? Okay. But then when I realized, it's obviously Tom, so I'm like, oh.
But then here's my other question: like, is he the minor in the beginning too, or did he just go nuts? Because like they're all seeing him like getting abducted by the minor. Like even the fact that he came back was confusing to me. It's like I thought you were dead. Like you were clearly dead.
It could be
he
like
chops your head.
It could be like a new like Halloween, like the new Halloween movie where they have like a copycat who becomes obsessed with the original and then kind of is like, I'm going to take on the
I just felt like it was
legacy.
Unclear. I just like also, I don't appreciate that when you're filming in Appalachia, and everyone doesn't talk like this. I have a problem because I love talking like this in Laugh, and I look for a reason to have a project where I can talk like this. And the fact that everyone has all their teeth and doesn't speak like this working
is not
in the
accurate.
mines.
It's not accurate.
It upsets me very much. I think I would really enjoy this film so much more if everybody working in the mines was not so attractive and like actually spoke as if they lived in in a mining town.
Okay, what I think you need to do is, I don't know what this accent is anymore. 'Cause sometimes it goes from Southern to like British.
This is,
to
this is not
Australian
Appalachia
to
accurate. Let's be
bunch of
very
things.
clear. But I think I would like, whatever that is, I want to hear it in there.
What I think you should do is you should take that film just in your spare time, whatever spare time you have. You should ADR the entire film.
Like this.
Yeah,
and have
but
them-
do every single voice.
that is the next podcast episode. I feel like we just come on and everybody just do whatever voice we feel should be appropriate to whatever mythical mountain town this is that they live in. And I actually just watched a rom-com, and it was another like mining mountain town. I don't know if everyone's just getting tax write-offs to be able to film in these towns or like whatever it is, but like again, nobody spoke like this. Like everyone, and it was incredibly racially diverse, which I mean,
Okay.
I obviously advocate for. I want that in all of my things. But I was like, where is this town that was like incredibly diverse, like so progressive, but also a mining town, but also had weird German influences everywhere. It had like a whole plot point of the rom-com is that there's like an amazing soft pretzel selection, beer gardens, and cheese. And like, an actual plot point of the rom-com is that they get sick because they ate too much cheese.
This takes place in Wisconsin. This is my hometown.
Oh, so
my hometown.
is this accurate? Maybe I just have to like broaden my horizon.
I don't think it's a mining state at all. I don't think so. I've lived there my whole life. I've never heard of any, but there's a lot of things that I don't know that go on in Wisconsin. So
yeah, like I of course like I want my projects to feel as diverse and representative of the global population as possible. But I was just so confused as to like where this was, like this euphoria of existence and cheese. I couldn't, but Wisconsin.
I mean, probably you're like, I'm with it. I love the concept. Where is it? Just let me know. Is it a real place? Is it a fake place? If it's fake, that's fine, but let me know.
No, yes. And I do. And it is funny to watch like your horror films. Like usually there's like horror films notoriously have no diversity, and it's incredibly annoying.
Yeah.
But this film, to bring it back to My Buddy Valentine, they didn't even care. They were like, we're not even going to try to give you the token black character. Nope. We're just gonna go. It's 2009. We're gonna whitewash this entire thing, and everyone is gonna kind of look like relatives. So much so that we are going to address it in the very beginning and say that we are all inbred.
Yep, that's 2009 in a
nutshell. That was Hollywood in 2009.
And,
that's why we're having the Nepo baby crisis now.
Correct.
It's all from inbreeding.
It's all from inbreeding. You gotta stop inbreeding. Hey, Hollywood, chill.
Relax.
Chill out.
Relax.
Stop inbreeding, please, and thank you.
Relax.
So out of 10, what do you think?
Oh, I mean, just because I could watch it and like there are some horror movies that I can't laugh. I was laughing.
Yeah.
I was
it was
like laughing through this. It was hilarious. I'll give it, for as far as like modern slashers go, I'd give it a 6.8 out of 10. Like
6.8. Okay.
I'd watch it again and laugh, and like I think I like would make someone watch it with me just to laugh through the entire thing. Like I was kind of disappointed I couldn't rope my friends into watching it with me in preparation for this, because I think it would have been a fun.
I think it would have been a fun watch. It's kind of, I mean, for some people this is like a painful movie because they're, but I think it wasn't, it's fun to watch with friends.
What about you? What would you?
I said a 3. But that's also because I rate things pretty harsh. But also, I enjoyed it. I laughed a lot. But I for a horror movie, wasn't my favorite. But I've also seen a lot. And
I mean, as someone who has done some pretty bad horror movies in their career, I think I think maybe I'm a little bit more gracious.
No, yeah, you're good.
Also, I wish all the films that I've worked on had $14 million budgets. That would be great.
That would be amazing. You could just have 3D everything.
5D. I'm gonna figure out in the screening. No, I'd probably need a bigger budget for that. But the goal now is to figure out in a screening who I can place there that will make you personally uncomfortable so that you can get that jump scare experience.
That'd be awesome.
I think that's the next step. I'm going to make you fill out a survey, and then I will find that person.
Yeah.
and give them a ticket and like perhaps,
and put them like behind you casually.
Yeah, so that you look around in the middle of the theater and jump.
Oh my God.
5D.
So
5D, that's the concept. I'm pitching it.
I love it.
Pitching it to AMC theaters as a revamp to get people in the seats.
AMC, you hear that? Jump on it right now. Jump on
I
it
think
immediately.
this is how we revive the theater crisis.
I think no one will want to come again because they'll be like, "Who will I see next?" But also,
I think people
they
be
might.
about it.
Who knows? You could be a matchmaker.
It could be like a psychological exercise.
Oh my God! And like we have therapists standing by.
Yes.
And wow. And
like
then
forget ayahuasca retreats. This is how you heal yourself.
Oh. We just
face your terrors in the seat behind you.
You just wanted to see this cute little dog movie, but instead we put someone you absolutely despise behind you who you've been avoiding for years. They're behind you, turn around, and then we bring up microphones and we confront all of their problems one by one with the therapist.
If it's like a dog movie, it's like that's already going to make you emotional. You turn around and like a dog that looks identical to your dead childhood dog is behind you, and now you have to really process all the emotions. So fucked up. All the emotions.
Bo, I miss you. Bo, I miss you.
Oh my God, that's my nightmare.
Oh God.
I'm so freakishly obsessed with my dog. I'm that person who travels with her.
Oh, I love that.
I am.
How big?
Not small. Like
okay,
I am
not
that
small.
person. I'm that asshole.
I love it.
She looks like a small white wolf, but like not that small, I guess.
Adorable.
She's adorable. She's amazing. She has a box of corpses. I can't throw away her toys, but she loves to like. She goes in, tries to get the squeaker out, and like shreds them very rapidly, but then takes the carcass and puts it in this little box.
Okay.
And I try to go through and clear it out, she gets like very upset. And when new people come, she presents them with her dead toy carcasses.
Got it. So when you said that, just when you said, "Oh, she has a box of carcasses," I am like, okay. Catherine is in a lot of horror movies.
Is a cannibal.
Okay, she's
she
and
takes it to another level.
Another level with her animals, and I love that for her. But just wanted to hear more. And then you said the toys. And I was like, cool.
No, that's honestly, every time something goes wrong on set, I just like slowly work on dismembering people so that I can give their remains, to my dog.
I love that. That's great.
That's all those exes that have wronged me. That's how I'm like working through it, and it's a therapeutic process. No, that's awful. I'm not going. I have no plans on murdering anybody anytime soon.
You heard it here first.
For the record,
you heard it here first.
There's like a knock on my door.
Catherine is a murderer.
We're looking into the murder of. I'm the prime suspect.
Oh yeah, you were number one. Everyone always thinks it's me. It's you now.
Honestly,
passing the torch.
Honestly, like I get stopped almost every time I go through security, often because I have my dog, and I have when I'm going through like an airport and I have my bag of bullshit, I like bring the strangest things, and like I'm one of those people like always has to be prepared. So like I remember one time I had I was going to Cannes in France, so it's just like a really long flight. You have to, and I was doing a red eye, and I was that asshole who brought their own pillow because I needed to sleep. I had to like get off and do stuff, and I had snacks in the pillowcase. And I put the pillow through the conveyor belt, and when I picked it up, an apple fell out onto the floor, and everybody jumped and was like, like it was as if it was like a bomb. And I was like, it's just an apple. Like it was silent. Everybody jumped back. I thought the bomb squad was gonna come in and like fumigate, but I was like, it's just an apple. And I swear,
it's like it's fine. It's just
an apple, and it was okay.
Sure, it's just an apple.
But often,
we gotcha.
I was traveling too with like a group of like punk rock filmmakers, and like one of them had like a mohawk and decided that he was going to wear a military like bomb vest because it had lots of pockets.
I mean, fair.
He thought
you put a lot of things in there for the airport.
That was exactly his thought process. Was exactly his thought process. He didn't want a bag, but also it did not help. If anyone was gonna be like the white supremacist terrorist, it would be this guy.
Yeah,
it was that guy.
He's like, it's just snacks. It's not a bomb. It's just snacks.
I'm resourceful.
Do you
okay?
want? Did you want some?
I'm resourceful. I'm not a Republican. I was like,
But I also am a Republican. But I have snacks instead. It's fine.
oh my god.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So you said 6.8 out of 10, 3 out. You know what? I'll give it a 4. I'm going up to a 4.
I think you should stick with your guns. If
No.
you're going to be the Simon Cowell of horror comedy, I think
Technically,
you
I
should
am.
stick with it. I really do.
I don't give a lot of things a 10, but that's also in my, like, I just have never, I've always been pretty hard when it comes to every film in general. I don't know if that's because I went to film school, or if I just think I'm a snob and an asshole.
No,
I don't know.
I think somebody has to set the bar high. You know,
Yeah, it's usually as soon as I hear other people's, I'm like, should I change it? And I was like,
no,
I can't.
No,
I feel like I'm lying.
I think you should. Honestly, like the other day, I was talking to my mom and I was like, I think I might have worked on a film that's going to be in South by Southwest, and she was like, oh, do you really think it's that good? And I literally just turned to her and I was like, it doesn't matter what I think.
True, you're right.
Because it doesn't matter, and I'm always wrong. I have no idea what people like. The films I'm like, oh my God, this is great. Nobody cares about. The film where I'm getting sawed in half by my vagina, everyone's like, this is the greatest thing ever.
And some people are like, this is awful, but it's a different of thing. Like, and that's because I always say, Troll 2 is the greatest film ever made.
Is that really your film?
I love it as a joke and also seriously. I love it. Oh, it's so silly. It's so goofy. 10 out of 10. But it's also, if I wanted to give it 10 out of 10 in my heart, Simon Cowell, like 2.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's like one of those.
So it's like, so where do you how do you come up with your rating? It's like, so like you technically your film school self is like 2, but your love for trolls.
Yeah.
Well,
they're not trolls, they're goblins.
Is like,
so
just
get one thing straight here.
If we're gonna, it may be called Troll 2.
There are no trolls in the whole thing. I cannot wait to talk about that film on this podcast. It's wonderful. It's terrible, but it's great. And
no, those are the best kind. I honestly I remember I've been doing Q&As. I think it's so important to acknowledge the comedy and horror. I've done Q&As where people will ask that question and you see the filmmaker's face just drop because they don't realize it's funny.
Yeah.
And that's the fact. If you have made a film where an eyeball flies out towards the screen if you're not laughing, something is wrong.
It's great. I mean, I hope that the first audience was terrified of this film. I hope that. I hope there was an audience that was...
Of Troll 2 or of
My
Bloody Valentine?
My Bloody Valentine. Troll 2, I don't think anyone would be scared of that.
I mean,
maybe it's creepy. It's weird.
I don't know. As a child, Leprechaun really got me.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I think you have to come back for Leprechaun in the Hood then.
Leprechaun in the
Hood.
Did you see that?
No, I
my
haven't. I have to
God.
check that out.
It's pretty iconic.
Breaking stereotype.
And that's
that's what we're advocating for here on this
in
podcast. In horror, in My Bloody Valentine, that's the thing. If
needs more you know what? The 3 is for the diversity. That's
what it's for. The social justice the reform that needs to start with My Bloody Valentine.
Exactly.
We're not worried about wage equality here. We're not worried about mass shootings. We are worried about the representation in this 2009 horror movie.
Damn straight. And that's what this podcast is all about.
Progress.
Exactly.
Where it counts, where we need it most. No, I was listening.
Yes.
I was also I don't know if I did it. I was watching Joe Biden's State of the Union address, and why I don't know. It was kind of painful, but I was listening to what and I'm on board. After Trump, I really want to see us bounce back as a nation. I want to see us learn and be let's make some progress here. But then the guy who's supposed to be leading us to do that gets up and he talks about how he really wants to double down on, I think what they're called ghost fees. And when he said that, I leaned in and I was well, what is he talking about? And I guess it's when Ticketmaster charges you extra fees for things, or your hotel or your airline charges you for a checked bag. That's a ghost fee. And he's no more people gonna get away with this. And I was Yeah, you're right. That's really annoying. I hate when my airline charges me for the bag. But also, what about like student loans? Didn't you say? What about
isn't there other stuff?
Wasn't there just another police shooting? Like wait. Like aren't we concerned about racial and gender equity? No. Joe Biden's like, my airline fees.
You know what? He's got those
fees.
things that he's like, everybody wants this, but I have those little things in my day-to-day life that makes life a little bit harder.
And he's like, you know what? So I feel like the president of the United States would be like, you're right. We need to completely redo this 2009 horror movie.
But only this one, no other movies,
make sure that when they talk about it, they address the fact that they had to pay, like, for the killer to come out of the mental asylum, he had to get on a flight, and that bag, that cost him a lot of money that he should not have had to pay for, and this is why he's murdering people.
I mean, that's a new twist. I love it. So, any final thoughts on the film before we wrap it up?
I still wish that over the pants handjob joke girl had her naked moment of redemption. That's how I feel like that would have sold it for me. Filmmakers, I'm waiting for it.
Honestly, have an entire spin-off where it's just her coming back as a zombie.
That would be amazing.
As a zombie.
That would be so good. Naked zombie attacks.
Yeah, it's like a B horror film.
No, there is one. Wait. Oh my God. It's called it's called Zombie Strippers.
Yes.
And it stars Jenna Jameson, and I've never seen it, and I've always wanted to.
That's also been on my list.
Oh my God, I bet you that's amazing. And I bet you there is a moment where like one of them takes their arm off, puts a gun in it, a la like
Evil Dead 2.
Yes, and just starts like going to town, and she's topless and stripping the entire, or like spinning around the pole.
And she's in giant heels. Oh my God.
While they spin around the pole,
yes. Yes.
That's what I want.
And she still gets the one.
That's Planet Terror, Grindhouse. Have you seen Planet Terror?
I've seen parts of Planet Terror, but I don't
she straps it to her leg.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That I have seen. Yes, but I want it on. I want the leg. I want to like level it up with the strippers where she's spinning around the pole.
You just
it
want it to
like
be
Shooting.
topless. You want it to be doing it topless.
Yeah, on the
why
pole.
Not?
Like
Sounds
spinning. You know
awesome.
what I'm saying? Pulls out the ammunition, puts it back in again. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want.
Yeah.
Dream big, Catherine.
She is.
My career goals.
It's gonna be great. This is
$10 I get an offer next week. Some filmmakers slide in my DMs. So actually, Catherine, I heard
on the Story podcast. I actually wrote an entire screenplay about this in the time that this podcast came out. What do you think?
I think I'd say, all right, we need the Horror at the Store executive production team.
Yes.
Get on board here, and we'll do it. Let's do it.
Hell yeah. We're in. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah.
Where can the people find you?
The people can find me on Instagram. It's InstaCatherineC with a C. The people can find me occasionally at horror events, occasionally attending shows at Horror at the Store. I think my website is catherinecorcoran.info.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And guys, make sure to like, subscribe, follow us on all the things on Insta, Twitter, Tumblr, Reddit, and yeah, that's it.
Discord.
See you guys. Discord,
Are
yeah.
you on that? I don't
know. I don't know. I don't even know.
One.
But thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.